Hello and very warm welcome, my friends. I'm super excited and stressed at the same time because I am very last minute with today's video. It's Monday. I had some family gatherings over the weekend, and unfortunately, after Friday video, I didn't manage to record the new one for today until today, and I have like less than 2 hours to actually make tutorial. Here I'm sharing you the card from my last video, which I really like, and he seems to love it too. And today I'm gonna use the same papers because I have them on my desk. Now I come up with this very pale design because I wanted something light and less busy than the flower design in the set. So for that I will give you the free design that will be on my Buy Me a Coffee page, so you can grab that extra free design. It's super lightweight. You can still use your white cardstock instead of that, but I just wanted to have something to fill the front panel of my card. Now the theme for today prompt is slim card, and I'm gonna be making like a 3/4, kind of like still a DL size, but it's gonna be like kind of a card wallet. So that will be a great idea for the gift, which will combine card with some extra gift element into it, because you can add that envelope or a gift card inside as well. So here you can see me scoring the card, and I score it instead of 4 inches, I score it at 3 7/8. That way, once you fold it and you've got this flap on the inside, you have that extra room. Now I'm gonna be creating the angle cut, and what I like to do when I make the measurement, I actually put 5.5 inches and 2 inches mark on the side, and I'm writing it down on a piece of the paper. And this is a very good tip for you, my friends, because if you're gonna be adding any mat and layers for your card, that way you can automatically cut them on the same angle each time, rather than trying to fuss around with the making marks with the pencil. And for the next layer, you just have to cut exactly the same angle. You can see me doing it here right now, and then you just very gently trim the side, both ends, and then the top bit, which is a straight cut. But everything else you just do the same. I've marked myself line at 5.5 inches, and then 2 dots on the side 2 inches away from the edge, and that way you will have the perfect layer. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be just a one layer or matte and layer. You can cut as many pieces as you like, and they all will be matching here perfectly. By the way, something I've missed to say at the beginning, this is another day, day 6 of the Flower Craft Fest. So all the links are down below in the description area, and I do encourage you to check other channel of my crafty friends who are also coming up with a beautiful project for you, to give you idea on the same prompt. So here you can see, once I cut the same perfect angle, I am just gently trimming the top part, and then 2 sides just couple millimeters away, 1 or 2. Everything depends on how thick you want your layer, like the white mat, to stick out. Now I'm not giving you measurements apart from the main scoring lines, because I do believe that working with the pencil is way easier than having that extra a very restrictive measurement. And that way, I've seen it myself plenty times, when the crafter says like, oh, you cut mat and layer this size, this size, this size, and by the 10th size I forgot the thing, like it's too many measurements. That way you just make yourself pencil marks in the strategic points, and that's it. Here you can see I'm repurposing this old paper. Luckily, my new package of the paper arrived today, so I'm super happy with it, because I'm working on new papers. I wonder if you can guess what it will be. Let's try write down in the comment, or maybe that could be also a wish list as well. You can give me ideas. What would you like? Which paper theme are you looking for me to design? Would you like some specific theme? But put your guess maybe, and I'll see if someone will guess, and then maybe just treat you with a little giveaway. I don't know, like I haven't decided anything specific yet, but see how many of you will have a good guess. what paper will be coming next. Now, again, I am doing the same, and because I was in such a rush and I purposely leave it on. This is my mistake, because obviously I was working under the pressure, but I purposely didn't edit out this piece because I wanted to point your attention to, if you're dressing up the inside part, you have to reverse this little triangle piece. So if you cut like 5.5 inches, you have to reverse it and take it on the other end from 8.25, which is the length of A4 size paper. I believe that was 2.75. You can see here 5.5, and you have to kind of reverse it. So for me, that was a little bit different way, but I'm not gonna put this paper into the waste. I will use it up on the front panel of my next card. Later on I will just use it up, so I'm not worried about it. And this is the extra advantage of working with the digital papers. If you mess up, you can always print another piece, and that way you will be good to go. Now I've started cutting this lightweight paper because I want to have something light on the front, and you follow the exactly the same rule. You just make yourself this kind of the same measurements, which I write down on this little strip. And once you finish cutting this kind of a triangular cut, then you cut the rest a little bit on the top and a little bit to the sides as well. And you can see here I'm working with the liquid glue because I think it's way more convenient than trying to fiddle it all with the double-sided tape. And again, a little bit extra work, and I know that this is the longest part actually, to dress up all these extra flaps, but this is what will make your card appear way more luxurious. If you want your card to create this kind of a fancy look, to put them level up, definitely I do encourage you to try dressing them up on the inside and outside, like all 4 sides. Now it doesn't really take me long, because to be fair, I think I've put this card together in 1 hour. I think it was 1 hour and 3 minutes, to be fair, but I had that extra mistake and I had to reprint the paper to make up for this little piece, which I was doing the wrong way in the first place. So that would be even faster. But I'm super happy with the result, and I think this is a great way for extra, like a birthday gift or wedding or something else, where you come up with the gift card. That will be a space for the wishes inside, an extra space for adding extra either money wallet or like a gift card, something like that. So here you can see I am trimming it on the sides and then a little bit from the end, so I have this nice and neat, and I'm trying to visually work so all these white borders all around, they're kind of equal, so that way it is also affecting like more professional look if your layers are nice and neat. And it would be hard to keep and remember like how much trim from each side if that would be just a purely measurement. For the inside, this is just a plain layer. I will later on try to adapt the wishes and the rest, and I'm not gonna be finishing this card on the inside today, mainly because I'm really short with the time, and secondly, it would be hard to go under 15 minutes to do everything, and that's kind of we agreed with this challenge. So I'm still, again, I'm like 2 minutes past the time frame, but I hope you will forgive me. However, if you would like to see the finish inside part, just message, like write the comment part 2, and I will come up, if I'll see there's lots of you would like to see it, I will come up with the part 2 of this video, and then we can work on the inside portion. Now this was my afterthought once I finished this frame. I could put the magnets. If I would add the magnet on the bottom layer and then on this little flap, that would be nice closure to my card. But because I didn't do so, what I'm doing here, I've cut myself, I think it was 2-inch strip, and I'm using very old Spellbinder die to kind of do a partial die cut. And this die is kind of a blunt now, and this has sometimes happened with the dies which you are overusing. Firstly, I have this die for like 10 years, and to be fair, I cut it more than a couple hundred times, and I'm not joking. This was one of my favorite labels. I used to use it to cut my own label before I had this like a sticker automatic printer with my own like a logo. I was using this one to cut, so it's a little bit blunt now because so many times you add the pressure to the die that is just kind of getting a little bit blunt. You can sort it out by cutting it a few times with the silver foil, like aluminum foil. Sometimes it helps out, but I also heard that many people is using the bubble wrap to also help, and I haven't used it yet anyway, but I must to try it, and I think it will be working well as well. Now, to hold this extra strip, I cut another decorative label element, and I'm just putting it across. And one thing I forgot, I didn't forgot. I realized once I put this white piece across, I don't like this piece to be whole white. So what I'm doing here, I grab a piece of decorative paper, and because I was rushing, I thought, okay, this time I will just pencil mark the die, and I will like try to cut it with my scissors, and this is also working well. But if I wouldn't be as much rushing with time, I would definitely do the partial cut on this piece as well. And last thing I haven't done, I would definitely decorate it the same style from the inside part. Or what would be the better way to save me all the fuss, I would print double side the same pattern and just cut it once, and that way you don't have to dress it. This is another advantage of having digital papers, is that if you need it to be like double-sided, you can put the same pattern or different pattern, mix and match, and that way you don't have to layer it, especially for the little pieces like that. That will be important. Now, for dressing up the card, I am using this wedding couple, and I also cut slightly larger circle from the same colored design paper, and I'm adding one on top of another. And even though I am super like short with time and I'm rushing, one thing I'm not giving up is just adding a little extra blink. Those teeny tiny elements, just gentle pop-up of gold like I have here, this is what is making the card appear way better as well. So here I am adding that piece of gold like with this fancy label, and then I also add a little extra bit of gold behind my sentiment. So this is just those teeny tiny extra steps which are making the card appear better. Now I'm chopping it with my guillotine, and I will add it to this top part, and I've decided to raise it up. I'm using a foam tape, just a single layer, and I forgot to add the glue here. I'm seeing it from now when I'm recording voiceover, but definitely add the hot glue or liquid glue between the layers of the foam tape, because they tend to dry. And I slightly bend the sentiment, like curve the edges like downwards, so it's a little bit like a curve. Now I'm cutting couple of the leaves, and I had this leftover piece from the printed paper. This is not the colored cardstock, the one I cut leaves from, because I needed it when I was making the christening card, which was kind of a similar design to this one. And that's why I remember I had it. So I cut my leaves from this printed piece, and then I am adding the layer of the flowers. This is gonna be super simple dressing, very like simple for me. I would say I would definitely, if I had more time, I would work it out a little bit better. But I still think that, especially for the flat card like that, this one you can still pack in the envelope and send it through, or that will be just, you know, nice flat card to give to someone if you prefer them to be a little bit flatter. And I think it's just looking nice. Just a couple extra flowers, a couple of the leaves. I would probably cut a teeny tiny, like a berry branches with the gold cardstock if I had more time. But here I am just frantically panicking and trying to put everything like, oh, Marta, you have to be faster because the video will be released in like 1 hour or so, and you still have to edit it. So you can hear me, I'm trying to, you know, even voiceover, I'm trying to a little bit rush, and I'm sorry for that, but I don't want to let anyone down. There's all my friends are, you know, we said we're gonna be posting videos Friday and Mondays, and because my husband is working and my son is still on the summer holiday, the school, it's not start till September, and I had some family gathering over the weekend. I had to attend. Definitely, you know, it was just hard to find the time to record the card, but luckily we made it. I made it, and I hope you made along through the video with me. Here is this little closure. I think it's just working fine, and that extra strip I was showing you, that's the place for adding your logo, or just printed like handmade with love by such and such, and that will be a great way to sneak out your kind of a name through if you're giving to someone, and then maybe someone will see it and they'll be interested. Here is the final look. I hope you will enjoy it, and of course, thank you for all the likes, support, and sharing my videos. I'm wishing you all a fabulous day. Stay blessed, and bye bye.